You're watching the Sports Central Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Central Podcast. I'm JB Maggio here with today's guest, Patrick Renna. So good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for carving out some time. You are a busy man these days.
Yes, well, especially with a new kid, but yeah, busy. I mean, you know, you always got to stay busy.
Why? What does that do for you?
It keeps you out of trouble. Because I think everyone needs to know that we're best friends for 30 years.
I've known you for a long time.
All right, maybe not best friends. I like to think of her as my bestie.
We'll say besties.
But, you know, when we were younger,
Run around
wasn't
this
busy
town.
enough.
We got into some trouble then.
Yeah, we got into trouble. Me more than you, for sure.
Probably.
But,
Yeah.
So now I've learned to stay busy and stay out of trouble.
Child number 3 just arrived on the scene about a month ago. You're a first starter. You have 2 sons. How's that working for you? You're getting much sleep these days?
I do. My wife lets me sleep. Plus, there is something to say about it being the third. Like, we are by no means pros at this, but we're better than we were the first time around. And now she's a month old, so the sleep starts going from 2 to 3 hours to like 3 to 4 hours. You get it in there, you know?
How do you, I mean, you don't have enough like eyes and arms to.
I know. Luckily, our oldest boy is 8, so he's been helping a lot.
You're on your own, kid. You're self-sufficient now.
Oh my God, he's been incredible. When my wife went into labor, he was pushing the contraction app. Oh my God. So he'd come to me and be like, "Dad, she's having another one," and I'd come in the room and. So I didn't realize how grown up 8 was. Aww. I know, I'm gonna cry in a second. Because it's like, you watch them and you're like, whoa, this is like forcing him to get older, you know?
Yeah.
But it's special, and he's been incredible.
You are getting a little misty. This is sweet, I love it.
It's the girl. It's the lack of sleep, okay? It's not 8 hours
It's
straight.
a little raw, it's a little, yeah.
And the 5-year-old's great too. I was worried because, there's all those memes on social media, like the middle child is Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, and he is that.
That's
like
true.
My oldest will get in a fight and be upset, and my middle child will come knock the fool out for him. So I was concerned, but he's been just in the middle and not mean or anything bad. So I'm like, okay, good.
So 8, 5, and obviously
Newborn,
1 month old.
Yeah.
How familiar are the kids with Dad's acting career?
They're very familiar just because they go through life with me. But people ask, do I show them Sandlot? And the thing about that movie or the movies I've been in is they don't mean the same for me that they do for the viewer. They sort of are nostalgic for me because I filmed them, So I show them the Goonies and movies like that. And that's my Sandlot. Those are my Sandlot moments when they watch the Goonies and they love it. And I'm like, did Sloth, did he scare you? And no. Do you love Chunk? Yeah.
That's another iconic movie.
Oh, that's my Sandlot for sure.
But when you're out in public, I'm sure people stop you and they want to take pictures, and you have to explain to the kids.
That's where they understand.
Yeah.
They know that, I mean, I also am doing a lot on social media, which they do it with me sometimes, and they enjoy those, and they like to watch it, so they get it.
You've really leaned into the social. I remember when you first got on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, welcome to Instagram.
You know what's
You're
funny?
crushing it now.
Yeah, thank you. Do you know the recording artist Jax? She just had a baby, actually.
Okay.
Have you heard of her? She's
No,
great. She did that song,
I'm so not
Victoria's
cool.
Secret.
Okay. I think I know that one. Yeah.
Anyway, she's very big on Instagram and TikTok, and she wanted me to be in a music video years ago, and I said, I'll do it, but you have to teach me social media. So she's my sensei for all my social media.
Well, she's doing a great job.
Yeah, she's the best, yeah.
What do you enjoy about like connecting with fans in that way?
I think the thing I like about social media the most is that it's instant gratification as an actor or, whatever you're doing, and people either respond or they don't, and you don't have to check with anyone. You don't have to go through an audition process. There's not, there's none of that there, which is the frustrating part of acting and this, the business, the movie business is just how long it takes, how many stops there are, how many people say no. So this is just immediate. You
were part of such a piece of American history.
Yeah.
Honestly, The Sandlot, and I know you've done a million other things aside from that, but that is the one I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that people really remember you from.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's led to so many opportunities, including appearances at, the Savannah Bananas, MLB All-Star Game where I ran into you
That's right.
a few years ago.
That was fun.
I think we have a photo from that. Pop
of
that
you and
up
I.
in the screen. Yeah, there it is.
There we are.
I was like, oh my God, Patrick Renna's here.
Ugh, I was a little skinnier then. We're working on it. We're working on
Yeah,
it.
so was I. So was I.
No, you look great. Yeah, that was amazing. And Savannah Bananas was insane.
Dude, how did that come about?
Well,
and how much do you love what those guys are doing?
so much. And Jesse, the head guy over there, I don't know what he is doing specifically on philanthropy, but he's really big on it.
Love that.
And he's all about the fan. And there's just something really special about that dude and all of those guys. Like, they're real ball players, though. Let me tell you, so he wanted to recreate the scene, but he said, we don't fix the games. So I was like, bro, I can't hit against a minor league or, almost major league pitcher. Like, I'm 46, it's been a minute. And he's like, the best I can do is give you my lefty, and I'll tell him to, throw a changeup, maybe. So I was still getting 75 miles an hour up there at the plate. And like, I went in the batting cages before and was like, this is fast. So I'm surprised he even got around on it. Luckily.
Where'd it go? You called your shot, like in the
I called
movie.
the shot, and then I was supposed to miss the first one, so you see me check swing a little bit. And then the second one, I swung and it hit my hand, and I literally was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Because there were 45,000 fans. They sell out major league stadiums. So then the third one was way too low and outside, but I went for it, and I popped it up in the right, and I caught it. But I still got it out of the infield.
You did?
Yeah.
You made contact.
On 75 miles an hour.
Better than, was it really 75?
Maybe 80, yeah.
Maybe 80.
Okay, fine, maybe 68. I don't know. But it was, no joke.
How old were you when you filmed The Sandlot?
I was 13.
I mean, could you ever have imagined it would have had the legs that it has?
No, we didn't. We knew that it was something good because the environment was great, the energy was great, the director was incredible. They do dailies, so they'll watch the stuff the night before, and then they'll come on set. And I think probably after Sandlot, I realized you can tell when people are lying because everyone comes out of dailies and says they're good. Nobody goes, oh, that was pretty bad last night.
Right.
But they'll see you the next day and they'll be like, yeah, it's really good. And you're like, oh, you're lying. Oh, this is not gonna be good. Sandlot, they were pumped. Like, they would come the next day, pumped to work again. They knew they had something, and so we knew it was gonna be good. But it had a decent outing in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, probably by today's standards, it made 80, 90 million, which is nice, but it's not like Superman. It's not Home Alone, which was a couple $100 million back then.
I know, but it was still,
But then it snowballed on VHS, DVD, and it just kept going and going. And every new anniversary, like the 20th was big, and then the 25th, which you saw, I think, just passing on to new generations.
Well, we were talking about that in the office before you got here about how, my 15-year-old niece that was just here from New York, and she's a softball player. It's one of her favorite movies.
Yeah.
I mean, she is reciting line by line. My mom was here as well. She's in her 70s. It's one of her favorite movies. It crosses generations.
It's three. Like, look at that. And that I think, that's when it really started to snowball, is when it hit the third generation, when the grandkids started watching it,
Don't you feel so lucky? Like that,
I do.
Lightning in a bottle.
I do. I mean, it's, people ask if it gets annoying or this or that, and I'm like, how could that get annoying? Like, even the biggest movie stars in the world don't have something like that. Some of them do, of course, but not everyone gets to say that they were in something that's been going for 30 years.
Tell me about some of the icons you've met.
Oh, so best kept secret, my sport is basketball. That's the one I really like. And that's kind of your jam too, right?
Football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say, I get it. Neither am I. Football, baseball, basketball, the big three. No, but basketball has always been the sport that I played growing up. I'm not.
At what point did you realize you weren't going to have a career in basketball?
So listen, our mutual friend growing up, so I grew up with all these guys in Eagle Rock High, and they were ballers. Like, I don't know if it was Division I high school or how high they were, but they were pretty decent. And when I would play against them and not be able to score 1 point, and listen, I have a good shot. Like, I'm decent. Like, people are always like impressed when I play, but you can't shoot over these guys. They're 6'2". I'm 5'7". On a good day, it's over. You know, that's when I realized it wasn't going to happen.
You lean more into the acting.
Yeah.
So who did you meet? Was it a basketball player?
I think Shaq was probably my favorite. I went to Shaq-tacular when I was 13, right after Sandlot.
I'm sorry, what is Shaq-tacular?
That was.
I don't recall.
I don't know. We have to look it up. I think I said it right, but it's these events that Shaq put on. This is in
like
the 90s.
Basketball clinics?
No,
He's probably DJing. It was something like that.
No, he was there, and I think it was for. It was probably a philanthropic thing. It was, you know, charity, and all these kids would come, and actors would come, and he would host, and so I am turned around and I feel this hand on my head, and the fingers go down to here, and this deep voice goes, "What's up, little man?" And I hear that, the deepest voice I've ever heard, and I turn around and I have to keep going, and it's Shaq, and I'm like, oh my God, and I think he had seen Sandlot, and he's like, I love that movie, and then we shook hands, and my hand was engulfed completely in his.
Totally.
I couldn't get around his palm, and that was probably the coolest celebrity I've ever met.
Shaq, that's a pretty good one.
And I have a hot take. You ready for? No.
Give me the hot take.
Here's my hot take. GOAT debate.
Oh, wow.
Here's the
Wow.
thing. I think MJ's the GOAT. I would give LeBron number 2, and Kobe needs to be number 3. This is blasphemy that he's not even in the top 5. There was a recent thing from someone where he's 11. Ridiculous.
Kobe was 11?
Yeah, and Steph was 10, which is fine. Steph can be top 10. He very much deserves it. But anyway,
We need to have you on during basketball
we
season.
do. Here's my hot take, though. If you're saying what a GOAT is the best, that nobody can beat them one-on-one, then Shaq is the GOAT. There is a YouTube clip with him and Jordan at an All-Star game, and it's like me against our mutual friend Bobby. Jordan cannot score 1 point against Shaq. And Shaq, this is when he was Orlando Shaq, had the sickest handles for a big man. You forget. Like, you're only thinking about big man Shaq when he was, you know, probably 50 pounds heavier and just dominating everyone on the Lakers. When he was at Orlando, he was like a big penny. And you got to watch this clip. Jordan cannot score 1 point on him. And he's taking those shots. You asked when I realized I was never going to make it. It's those fadeaway shots that you're launching up with your eyes closed and your feet sprawling out, trying to make it. He's taking those against Shaq, and he can't score 1.
I'm like, where is he shooting from?
It was just like this little fun little post-up game.
I guess if it's one-on-one,
yeah,
he's not necessarily staying around the rim.
No one could beat that Shaq one-on-one.
So Shaq is the GOAT?
If it's one-on-one, yes.
Shaq loves this conversation, by the way.
I'm just saying, Shaq will be the first to say he's not.
Yeah.
And that, you know, he's top 10. And team sports, it's different. I feel like you can't compare eras and positions. It's impossible. But if you're just going to say who would win in a one-on-one competition, it's Shaq. No one would beat him.
So who's your favorite NBA team of all time then? Is it the Lakers?
I'm from Boston. You can't, now we're recording. You can't ask me that. I told you off air that I have been somewhat converted over to the Lakers. I've been here 30 years. I know it's sacrilegious to say, but I grew up watching the Celtics in Boston. I left so young, though, and I came here and, you know, was engulfed by Laker fever. So.
What do you say when you're doing a Boston-based show?
Boston. And I never outwardly say Lakers. I never fully admitted. I sort of skirt around it like I just did. I want to still go home and be welcomed in.
Yeah, you're a smart
Ben
man.
Affleck and Matt Damon still need to be able to say hi if I ever meet them, you know?
You put out a children's book.
Yes.
Was it your experience as a father that inspired this?
100%. I coached my kid's Little League team for 3 years, up until he was about 6. And at that point, I realized he needed real coaching. So it's basically just wrangling cattle for those first few years. You're just trying to keep them interested. But it was so fun. I just had, you know, he wouldn't have gone out there if I didn't do that. So then Penguin Random House and the senior editor there, Nick Magliato, reached out to me and said, "You want to write a book?" And I was like, "What? I don't know."
Had you ever even thought about that?
Never thought about it. Because writing is one of those things, like I wouldn't even call myself a writer right now. It's one of those crafts that I've never pretended I can do. You know, like people say, "Oh, I want to be an actor, I'm a director." I just feel like that one, I don't know. It's not something I've ever tried. But this was an amazing experience. And, you know, listen, it wasn't 100,000 words either. It's a children's book. So it was a great experience. And I did love doing it. Nick helped a lot, and we kind of got through it. And obviously baseball was a no-brainer. And then we kind of came up with this idea of the 20 rules, about baseball and life, and it sort of just started writing itself. So.
Was it easy to, once you start, you open
Yeah, I would have ideas, and you remember that Jordan commercial that where he talks about all the times he missed?
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah.
Like that was something that really inspired me. So that's in one of the rules, and just pulled different, things that happened throughout baseball, and some stories about Sandlot and my life, and it kind of, when we came up with the 20 rules, it sort of was an easy writing job.
All these years after the Sandlot, having made appearances and doing some work with Major League Baseball now, what is one thing that you've enjoyed having the access to when it comes to your relationship with professional baseball?
Well, I mean the same thing. I did a commercial with Mike Trout and got to meet, and he's amazing.
He's a sweetie.
I've met most of the Dodgers. When Justin Turner was there, he was one of the biggest.
Ginger, you guys stick together, yeah.
We stick together. Matt Kemp back in the day came out of the dugout on the 25th anniversary in tears and said to all Sandlot guys, "You're why I started baseball." I know. And
Oh my gosh.
Matt Kemp. Oh my God. I know. So it's those moments that are really cool. And met Mookie, and I was on a golf course with Mookie, and I saw him, and I was I gotta go say hi to him, but what if I piss him off? And I went over, and he's like, "What's up, man?" So it's just.
Did he know who you were?
Yeah, yeah.
Does that ever catch you off guard?
In those moments, it's cool because it's Mookie, and you're like, "Oh, thank God you know me," and this is not awkward. So I was nervous because it's Mookie Betts,
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really cool. It opens doors. That's why it doesn't get old because, listen, you also sometimes it doesn't work. So
So
clubs in Hollywood, I was 50-50.
So Dodgers over Red Sox?
Again. I don't think we have to. It doesn't matter this year. The Sox aren't going. They're only like 6 games back right now.
I won't put you on the spot.
I think it might be Yankees Dodgers again.
Could you
Dodgers over
imagine?
Yankees for sure.
I know you don't get tired of talking about it, and you appreciate everything that the movie was and is and continues to give you. But did you feel like your role? Did you get typecast as that kind of character?
I mean, I think. Here's the thing. I did that movie, and then I did a few studio films in a row. So during that time, no. Then as the movie went on and on and on, yes, for sure, people know me the most from that. In my mid to late teens, I was doing a lot of independent film, and I was a skinny little guy back then. So it was a total different world that I lived in then, and it didn't really affect me in a negative way. So yes, I would say, if you want to say, did I get typecast? By that definition of do people know me the best from that movie? Yes, but has it negatively affected me? I don't think so. I stopped acting in my mid to late 20s. I just didn't want to do it. It got, it just became about other things. And I got married and I started having kids, and I did other things, got into producing, and now I'm leaning back into it, and Sandlot's helping,
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. I would like to do other things, and I plan to, and I think that I will, but so it's kind of like yes and no. It's not negative, but sure. I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say everything. I'm shocked when people go, "Oh my God, son-in-law," or sometimes they'll pull out some of the independent horrors that I've done. I'm like, wow, okay, hi,
Well, that's a niche. Well, how many people look at Instagram and say they know you from the Ginger Trio? Is that what you guys are calling
No,
yourselves?
we're the Chubby Gingers.
The Chubby Gingers, a chubby trio of
But
gingers.
we're all on diet, so we might not be the Chubby Gingers anymore.
Well, how did that start? And I mean, you guys are so funny.
I don't know so the biggest of the three, his wife, is Lynn. Did you ever meet Lindsay Bartleson? She is from Grounded for Life.
Okay.
She was the daughter on that show. So her and I grew up together, but she's also she's a fantastic dancer and choreographer. So she actually choreographs all of them. And the funniest part is watching her yell at us three, especially her husband, and about how terrible we are until we get it right. So she's our best kept secret on how we actually nailed them.
She's the secret. I mean, you guys are on point.
Hours.
Oh, it takes hours.
Depending on how difficult it is, and it's really funny when we nail it, how much we cheer. And
Yeah, it's gotta feel so good.
Yeah, it feels good.
But does anyone ever say like, "Hey, I want in on one of these"? Would you take Justin Turner if he wanted
No,
to?
he's not chubby enough. He's too fit. Justin Turner can do anything. I'd let him in.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, we would, but there's not really room. It's vertical, there's not horizontal framing, so you only got room for 3.
You gotta work with what works.
We did a little one for the NFL.
You did?
Yeah, we did, because we had done one for all the different. There's a dance that we did that actually was originated from this husband and wife, Costin Mayer, and they did all the NFL theme songs for all the different networks. Then they did interpretive dances to it. We copied them, but ours went crazier. And then they put us side by side and they're like, who did it best? Anyway, we did that, and then Amazon reached out when they had their new jingle and released and asked us to do one collabing with them. So they all live in Austin, so I flew to Austin and we did a little dance for Amazon.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Patrick Renna from the Chubby Gingers. Great to
So
have
much
you.
to the Chubby Gingers. That's my story.
So good to catch up with you.
Yeah, you too.